All right, and we're back. Happy lunchtime, pre-lunch or post-lunch yet? About 12:30-ish my time. So I don't know. Maybe someone's having lunch. Maybe lunch is done. Maybe lunch hasn't started. Either way, here we are. So I have the day off. I am in the middle of doing laundry, and I'm at that lovely point where the washer's done, but I'm still waiting on the dryer. So on with Tic Toc Tober. So I'm just showing on the screen here for anyone that did join me yesterday. No, I like that better. What did I do here? I did something. Right. There. Yeah, I'll work with this. Chat. There. Do the chat overlay. Actually, no. We won't. So, yeah. And this showed up a little weird on my Instagram feed. You know what? We will do the chat overlay. And there. Because I'm using this odd-sized paper. This is 17 inches long, but only 5 inches. It's comic strip paper. I meant to actually do like more proper comic strips like this, but that just didn't happen. But the downside of posting these on Instagram is they show up very weird. So that was yesterday's, just to kind of give you an idea of there. And my goal with this Tober is maybe to use some of my more unconventional paper and use it up. Maybe when I'm used up all my paper, that will get me off my butt and start learning digital. Or I get more paper, either way. So today's theme is 50s sci-fi fantasy. All right. So, I'm going to use Max Moon Crater because it doesn't get much more 50s than that. So, I'm going to use my... I've had varying degrees of success or failure with using colored pencils for roughing in my characters. And you know what? I will grab a scrap of paper. And I think we've all at one point had a page or 5 that never quite work out the way we want. Instead of... This may eventually go into the recycling or in the shredder one day, but for now... it will kind of serve as where my anatomy goes. So yeah, this was from a page that after I did and inked and all that, didn't much care for a variety of reasons. And then decided to draw Psylocke because I don't draw enough Psylocke, even though I've drawn a lot of Psylocke lately. So I'm not going to do a lot of rendering with the red. Let's see if I can get a better look at that gun. I can't without compromising my workspace, so that is, I'm going to work on the gun here. And because I am a one-person band, so to speak, seeing if any of my posts are doing well. I'm learning this all on the curve, so yep. think that is all I'm going to do with my red pencil. I'm still trying to figure out which ways I wish to go, and apparently one of those is just exploding my pencil sharpener all over me. Damn it. Alright. That is going to be future me's problem. For those that are skipping out, you miss me fumble my pencil sharpener live and get shavings all over myself and my studio floor. So, there we go. Need that a little bit later because I'm going to have a few circles. And the first time I saw Mac's moon crater, the vibe he kind of gave me of, and this is either me showing my age, which is weird because these cartoons are before my time, but they were always in rerun on all the local stations. Being in Canada, I didn't want to spend the money on having Transformers readily available. No. Or like Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends. It was Flintstones, maybe the Jetsons, I'm trying to remember. Definitely the Flintstones. 60s Spider-Man. Hercules, one with the ring, all that. But the one this really reminds me of is Rocket Robin Hood. That one. Oh, those are my biggest ellipses, and that's too small. I think I have an idea. Don't know if it'll work. No, that won't work. Well, crap. Wait. Can I? But yes, this does remind me most of Rocket Robin Hood. And I've already made them. Book is going to set that. That's a little bit out of my way. What always struck me about the 50s era sci-fi, where I didn't really realize that we needed more protection than a spandex suit with a helmet. Although, if I remember, Rocket Robin Hood didn't have any the PPE for space travel. Legion of Superheroes too. That never had any. I think with Legion of Superheroes, though, they did try to further like retcon things as their understanding of science and space travel. I gotta stop bumping into stuff. Um, but yeah. been at this for about 20 minutes. Probably even bring this dome down a little bit. That looks freaking ridiculous. Now, do I wish to do inking first? Actually, yeah, you know what? We'll do the inking first. So, because this is more 60s era, 50s era, sorry. Do thick. Inking this totally kayfabed sci-fi gun. with a smaller marker to start inking up around the face. There we go. There, and get my Copic brush pen. The other thing that kind of sticks out if I'm paying attention to 50 Sci-Fi, if I remember any of the cartoons, try to do a lot of line work, but that's because the animation didn't really have a lot to it. Swear to God, that mic stand is going to be the first thing I update. Forgot to do this. Okay, so that's showing up, no problem. Oh, my YouTube is actually working. Let me see if I can. Okay, no comments on YouTube. And no, but it's streaming there, and I can access it. So this is one thing that's, I guess if you don't mind leaving your pencils don't mind leaving the pencil there with the reds, like leaving your construction there. And that's where you'd have a red. Now, I'm not as bothered with the red pencil because Max here has a fairly primary color scheme. Like you've got your red, your yellow, blue. And this is a supply I have to get more of. I like my Copic multi-liners. The only downside is I don't have a local art store that sells them anymore, so now I'll have to make a conscious effort to order. But I have a weird thing where if I'm ordering something online, I have to make it worth the shipping costs. I don't want to make it so expensive that I sweat a bill. That's where my Patreon helps. I put exclusive content there, like the entirety of my sketch pads and like more detailed kind of thoughts into like my art processes and processes. My thoughts on shows that I've done, advanced looks at the comics I've done or about to do. Which reminds me, I'm going to be putting a sneak peek at a comic I just finished. All right, so the blue. It's a fairly dark blue, so and again, the other thing about 50 sci-fi for me is nothing is detailed. There's a rich amount of detail. I'm getting out of the line a fair bit. Just because I'm getting out of the line. There. Roughen a foot. And this is why my process is such as it is so non-linear, because every once in a while I'll forget something or at the last minute decide to add something. Okay, you know what, before I get too far with the rendering in ink, I've got the basics of the ink there. I'll put my blue back and what shade of red am I contending with here? It looks like a darker shade of red, so I will go with my R29. lipstick red. And this is why I don't mind using a color pencil for my roughing, because every once in a while, if you do plan on coloring your own stuff, you know you're using, say in this case, I knew I was using the color red, kind of overshadows the I work on that. It's one thing I really do like about the classics. Since I'm not skilled, there are artists that can use the chisel end of a broad tip and be able to tip and get like these super thin lines. I am not able to do that as of yet, and just colored over where I meant to go blue. See if I can fix that. Get to it. Is I don't have that kind of control, so I will use fine tip. And then, yeah. And yeah, just try to be a little bit gentle. Every once in a while, if it's a intense sequence or there's an effect I want to achieve, I won't care as much if it's not as refined, but this is not that time. I may have messed up the handle. Actually, no, I didn't. Sci Fi. It's just a weird gun. There. Problem solved. You know what? This is feeling a little... Oh. Some Muzak. Maybe if I ever get back to upgrading for the restream so I can broadcast to more channels at once. And get some more options for music or with some local bands that don't mind. So I'm hoping this is dark enough to, yes, it is. That is working. Now my reference eyes are all whited in, but I'm going to treat this again like a 50s era cartoon where they're not. Kind of has a sandy, this is like caramel. And I get a little bit of, let's see if I can blend that away. What the colorless blender is actually used for. So another I don't know if I want to do a B39 out. Somehow I do not. Crud. Oh well. I don't know if you can see or not, but I've actually have guidelines for this weird paper. So what I'm going to be doing is trying to see if I can keep my space in that within the border, and the only thing I've got bleeding out is Max Mooncrater himself. B39. I also have this in classic, just the classic apparently, so I can oh, right now I'm jamming out to the music. I'll like pepper some blacks in there too. Not sure how to go about that yet, if that's going to be Copic or if that's going to be ink. I'll go back to my white. It's faded, but it's giving me the effect that I kind of want inside the helmet. I want the helmet to be a little bit lighter. doing what I want it to do, so that's alright. Worry about that. Actually, before I get into the hit picks, I almost forgot. Yes. Forgot to color his gun. And his... This gun is not in a state of discharge, so I don't have to worry about any extra shading. And we'll do some shading, but yeah, that's now the character done. So back with my rivets here. These made a brief comeback in the 90s. I'm going to leave the colors alone because I'll find a way to screw that up at that point. And because I'm not overly comfortable with getting the old toothbrush out and using the spatter. Oh, that was a terrible idea. Let's see if I can clean this up. Crap, I will have to go over that again. Oops. If it will. Covering it up, but it is now a different texture, so I'll have to be That's better. I think. Get some sand in here for some of this. Got a little bit of shine with the white. You know, from this fisheye camera, he looks weird. I wonder if bringing him... Oh, that looks really disproportionate. That's what I get for not looking at the camera type I bought before I bought it. I bought a wide angle, which is kind of creating this fisheye effect, so probably be on the hunt for another webcam. What else can I do to make this figure pop out? You know what? I was back and forth on this, but I think I'm going to just create a white outline around. I'm going to put that book in a safe space for now. Alright, I think I'm going to be calling this one soon because I've been at this for an hour, and I am pretty sure at this point my laundry is done and I'll probably be in a lunchy mood. So, for anyone that is... we'll switch cameras here. Da-doop. Da-doop. No one's chatting, so we won't have that overlay anymore. Alright. I will knock my microphone over a little bit more, so... Alright, I think I am calling this, and just to kind of give you a better idea, I'll just move that light. There. Max Moon Crater on a comic strip board. So I'm using these up and all the other random paper I have that I thought I'd make use of for, but I don't really have a day-to-day use. But before I go, realize I colored a little bit outside of my line here, so I will try to fix that. That's not working. What's going on with that Posca in particular? Alright, I'll post this on my social media soon. Hopefully I'll have a way where it's not going to be a freaking problem. But for anyone that is going to check this out a little later, thank you very much.